The classic API is used by Jamf Pro experts to automate tasks and save them time. For example, reading information from Jamf Pro to be used while running scripts. My name is Jeremy. Welcome to our video on getting information with the classic API. If you haven't already, we highly recommend checking out our Introduction to the Jamf APIs, where we discuss API basics and complete a minimal API call to Jamf Pro. The introduction video ended with a simple API call that returned a hard-to-read list of all buildings in Jamf Pro, so let's expand on that command using the computers endpoint for this demonstration. From my classic API resource documentation, I find the computers endpoint, select the Get Computers operation, click the Try It Out button, and log in with a Jamf Pro user account that has the privilege to read computers. If you receive an unauthorized error message or need to try again with a different username or password, try loading the classic API resource documentation in a new private browsing window. In our introduction video, it was recommended to create a Jamf Pro user with only the minimum privileges required to complete an API call. For this demonstration, I've already created a user with minimum privileges to complete each API call. When getting information via the classic API, the response can either be in XML or JSON format. This video focuses on XML, so I'll add an extra header to include in the API call that will specify XML as the response. Continuing from the API introduction video, a simple API call begins with the curl command, then the -u option and username:password to specify user credentials, and the request URL. Next, add the -H or header option, and since this API call is requesting information, add accept:\text/xml in double quotes. It's worth noting the username option, request URL, and header option can be in any order after the curl command as long as the text following each option is appropriate for the option selected. Execute this command, and we get a list of all computers in Jamf Pro in XML format. However, the output still isn't in a very user-friendly or readable format. This is where the xmllint command comes into play. xmllint is used to parse XML and print various types of output depending on the options selected. One such option is the format option, to reformat and reindent the output. In order to use the xmllint command with the curl command, we can use the pipe character, which allows the output of one command to be the input for the next. So I add pipe xmllint and --format to specify the format option, but I'm still not finished. xmllint needs to know where to find the data it should be parsing and expects the path to an XML file as the last part of the command. Or since we want to parse the response from the curl command, a hyphen can be used in place of the path to an XML file. Execute this pipeline of commands and the output is reformatted with indents to make it easier to read. But notice the progress meter that's now included when I scroll to the top. This can be removed by using the -s or silent option with the curl command. Since the silent option doesn't require any other text, we can add it to the existing -u or username option. Just make sure the s is entered before the u so the username option is uninterrupted. Run this and the progress meter is removed from the output. Revisiting the classic API resource documentation, the request URL I've been using for the computers endpoint finds all computers in Jamf Pro. But notice there's also the possibility to find individual computers by ID, name, or hardware information like serial number. At the bottom of the outputted list of computers, I can see my computer ID number is 3003. If I expand the Get Computers by ID operation, enter 3003 as the value for the ID, and click Try It Out, the request URL now includes ID/3003. Add that to the request URL in my API call, and the output is the full inventory record for my computer. Information formatted in an XML structure is arranged in a parent-child-sibling hierarchy. Think of it like the file and folder structure of macOS, where each folder can contain files related to the name of that folder or even more folders nested inside. In XML, these folders are called elements, and each element can contain text or more elements. An element consists of a start and end tag, along with everything in between. A start tag is indicated by text enclosed in angle brackets, and an end tag is the same text preceded by a slash enclosed in angle brackets. Looking at the response from the commands that were just executed, here is the start tag for the computer element, and if I scroll to the bottom, here is the end tag. All of the information between the start and end tag is the contents of the computer element. The general element is a child of the parent computer element because it's placed after the computer start tag, but before its end tag. Then the general element becomes a parent when talking about its children elements like ID, name, and so on. These children elements are considered siblings, or elements that share the same parent, because they all come before the end tag for the general element. Indents help to visualize the parent-child hierarchy, where each indent signifies the next group of children elements, and elements beginning in the same column are typically siblings. Elements with a trailing slash, like the one for asset tag, are called self-closing tags, indicating an empty element. With a better understanding of XML format, we can use the XPath option with the xmllint command to only print information pertaining to a specific element. Replace the format option with XPath, and then add the path to which element you'd like in double quotes. I'll use building for this example. Again, the indents help to visualize this path. After locating the building element, work backward to get the full path. Building is in the location element, which is in the computer element. So the path would be /computer/location/building. Now the output is just the building element, but it still includes the start and end tags. If you just want the text contents of an element without the start and end tags, simply add /text, then open and closed parentheses to the path. Getting information from Jamf Pro in this manner enables administrators to write scripts without hard-coding values. Much of this information is variable, so API calls ensure it's always up to date anytime those scripts run. That's all for this video on getting information from Jamf Pro with the Classic API. For more information on creating, updating, or deleting information in Jamf Pro, check out our Classic API video, Put, Post, and Delete. Thanks for watching.